The stream says I'm live, so it must be live. Also, it says I'm in excellent connection. I thought that's an excellent condition. Hello, peeps. It's Dangly Bob here, and we are streaming live on YouTube. I was hoping to be able to stream live on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but Streamlabs OBS won't let you to do that. Just 1 minute. Frog in my throat. And talking of frogs, here we are. Kerbal Space Program. And these little green frogs, for want of a better word, I think they're supposed to be little green men, are, yes. If you've watched I'm on YouTube, so I can talk about my YouTube videos. You can easily find them somewhere else on my channel. But this is a career mode. Got about the first level of technology researched. I have just put a satellite up into space, which I tweeted. Not tweeted. What do you do? Twitched? I twitched it. And now I'm tubing this. As you can guess, I'm a little bit new to this twitching and certainly live streaming stuff. Now I need to basically get some money. I need to upgrade. Lots of things, but so yeah, I need to do some. Need to get some science. So it's a balance between getting science and getting money. At the moment, I've only got 213,000. I need to upgrade if I'm doing, particularly if I want to do the curbing stuff. Or I can do this. I can do that. Test the Weasley turbofan. Let's do that quick. That's quite a quick one. Leave facility. These testing at launch sites are a little bit on the funny side, because all you need to do, as the Weasley engine, wasn't it, is do that. I think I've got, that, so we can connect. It's not going to let me connect it. Do that. Do that. Do that. I have to tell my daughter off for shouting in a minute. I can hear her. She's zooming or transmitting something on the other PC in the kitchen. But right, so I've put that on a stand. I'm going to go to launch, and it hasn't got an intake, but I don't need an intake just to run the test. Just need the kit itself. It's taking a long time to load up. Here we go. Okay, so run test. There we go. That's the contract done. So, brilliant. Recover vessel. Simple. Back to here. There we go. 2,300 from the parts. 219,000. I didn't see how much cash I got for that one. I can look. Look in here and look for completed. The problem with completed, it doesn't show me when. What's that? Oh, these are world records. Okay. Or the records. That one there. Oh, it's just 5,000. To be honest, I wasn't expecting a lot. I want to go in there. I do want to get some more science, and the best way of getting science is perhaps tackling some of the bits and pieces. Go that. Do that. Bear with me 1 minute. Tilda, keep the noise down. I can hear you shouting. I can also hear her whispering, but this TV down here, 18,000. I suppose that was from the last build. But right, let's leave that. I want to go into the tracking station. What we're looking for is something relatively close, because that jet plane I built is here we go. They're not very close, are they? These are even further away. What's that? I could build something to try and splash down there, except I'm not very good at splash downing on targets. We could have a go at, right, that there is that's an integrated integrals. So this would be quite a long journey for that jet plane. And I don't know whether it can make it. It can do perhaps some of them, make 2 trips. But we come out here first, because within a couple of minutes I got out to about here. So it would be a little bit of a journey. So this is the integrated integrals. So let's do that. Let's go for the mission here. And integrated integrals. Is that it? No, that's Kerbal motion. Oh, I could do a satellite into a polar orbit. That is a fairly easy one to do. How much is that? That gives us quite a bit of cash as well. So let's have that one. Material study in space near Kerbal bio study. Where's the integrity in tourists? Temperature. Kerbal motion. Oh, it's here. It's right here. So this actually produces quite a bit of cash, so that'd be worth doing. Plus it produces 4 science for each one. I need to be above 17,000, which is okay for the jet engines, because they're good for about 20. And I think are probably more efficient at that height anyway. So let's do that. Let's accept that. Leave the facility. Space plane hangar. Space plane hangar. SPH. There you go. Easier to say SPH than space plane hangar. Open up, and it's plane 3. Plane 2 we're going to get rid of because that's just a complete waste of time. Plane 3 we know works, but what I am going to do is put a parachute on it. That way I don't have to worry about coming back and landing. I can ditch and recover there. Utilities, radial mount parachute, probably just the one. Maybe put 2 on just for be safe. There and there. What other adjustments we're going to make? Can't think of any off the top of my head. Going to crew it with Jebediah, because Valentina hasn't got any experience whatsoever. At least Jebediah. Well, actually, no. Let's do Valentina, because I don't think, as long as I've got prograde, not prograde, stability assist, which I think a pilot will give me, even a beginner pilot. And the other change I'm going to make, if I've got, oh yeah, got loads of part pieces left. Going to put so we're going to make those more pronounced. And I don't know if I want to zero the, yeah, I want to put -8 on there, just to give it some lift. to help take off. Hopefully it'll take off on its Todd. Just check. It's that, the lift up after. Now is slightly, what's slightly puzzling me is, does this have an effect where it's below this? But if that's the lift and it's below the centre of gravity, that should help? Don't know, need to read up on that. But we're going to save that. Don't know how much fuel. Hopefully we've got enough fuel at least to get to the first one. Oh, I need science. I need the pressure data. So, actually, if I have pressure data and I have an aerial, so let's put a pressure, and let's put, just for argument's sake, oh, I can't put, let's put that back there then, like that. These are the two resettable ones. Yeah, let's have one of those. Don't know where I'm going to put it. In there will do. Not much point in having anything else. I'll get me some science, but it's extra. I suppose I could put a goo. Should we put a goo on just for the sake of putting a goo on? Let's put 2 goos on. There we go, 2 goos. So I can do some goo experiments and recover them. Parachute's good. Yes, one of those, and we want an aerial. I need an aerial for transmitting back. Except will this, I need one of these because it needs to be deployed. Rotate. No, rotate. There we go. Let's put it down there. Down. Yeah. No, on the tail. Where do you normally put aerials? Hide it inside. Put it up there. Back here. Will it go on the tail plane? Put it there. It's a bit silly. Doesn't matter where it goes, to be honest. It doesn't have a lot of drag, so right. So then hopefully I can. This one does. Yeah, it does transmit data. Save and launch. As soon as we take off, I want to reverse our course and go back the other way. I don't think. Is there an easy way of? I could reduce the thrust limiter down to 50 for takeoff. Oh, flight to check staging. Need to check the staging. Right, there we go. Bingo. Right, now save and launch. Or take off. Okay. That. And we are going to limit it because otherwise I'll end up getting too fast too early. I should have done this during the day. Where are we up to? 80, 100. Lift. 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 Why are you not taking off? No lift. okay, let's put what undercarriage I can up. Don't understand why it wouldn't give us any lift. Well, whack that up to full power. Climb and turn. I don't want to do an EVA report. I end up falling out. So we're climbing quite nicely, and we're also turning quite nicely. Approaching Mach 1, which it's going to make turning a little bit on the dodgy side. Speed still going up, 250, which is good. While we're climbing and turning, turn this round, activate the navigation on that one, so know when we get to the right point. Now I do need to keep an eye on the fuel. I mean, this thing's got plenty of power. I could put an extra fuel tank on it. Oh, I know what I could have done to save weight. I've got this oxidizer and I didn't empty that out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so roll control's good. And the climb angle's good. Could probably put a little bit more on these. Put those up to 8. And these are extended. No. These I think are no. And these are no, I want to point those up. Let's put those at -12. Now we get some level fight-ish, he says. Still climbing. It's good. Using a lot of fuel. If I start reducing the thrust, yeah, we do end up losing speed as well, so can't make these more efficient. I think it's got a marker around it, not just a symbol. Last time I did this, it was just saw the symbol, but is it because it's below the horizon? Have a quick look at the map again. It is out in the Oggin. And our fuel flow is 1.3. Ah, yeah, we need to be higher. Use less fuel. 124, 123. So fuel flow is less, but thrust is less now as well. In fact, thrusting is only 50 kilonewtons. These engines are supposed to produce 120 kilonewtons at full thrust. What's that? Independent throttle. Oh, no, main throttle. Yeah, it's fine. That's what I want. Alternator output. I didn't put any batteries on it, but to be honest, I don't need the batteries. We're at 7,000 feet, and I want to be above. We got crew report, or we can take that. We can transmit. We can take that and transmit that. Oh, temperature scan again. Transmit. No. And another crew report. These are going to tickle up some nice science if I keep doing that every time I hear that. Excuse me. So I'm now falling. Climb, climb, climb. A little bit of autopilot would be nice, but I have got. What does it give us? Attitude hold. Let's do that. Let's do. What do we want for the contract? Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. I want to be above 17,000, so I want to be 17,800. 17,800 feet. Vertical speed hold, so let's do that. Set. Just going to climb. Roll hold, heading hold. It holds its heading, no problem. We could put that on. Set. Engage autopilot. Let's shove that over there. Don't necessarily need it because it flies relatively well, but I've got this little. I think this is what's giving this down here. This is the waypoint manager. Deploy all apart from EVA. Don't think we're going to get around to everything. Let's pin that over here. Thrust. Give me full thrust, but it's only at 44. But the fuel flow's gone right down. That's good. It's because of the height. Now, I don't think I'm holding the vertical speed limit. Oh, hang on. What happens if we do more? Ah. Quite happy climbing at a relatively high speed because we've got the speed to do it. I want to get up to height quick because that saves fuel. It's gone blip 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 again, but it hasn't told me anything. Transmit data. We'll allow partial. There we go. I did need some batteries on this. Heading hold 270. I need to go a little bit above 270. $278? No, not quite. 275. We're at 11,000. Fuel flow is 0.46. Thrust is down to 24 kilonewtons. We're not climbing. Oh. let's go down to 10. Well, no, 20. Yeah, 20. Crew report, transmit. Temperature scan, transmit. So we've got a bit of a problem here where even the one engine, it's not getting me up to the 17,000 I need. This might be a bit of a problem. I could make this a little bit don't want to go into physics time warp because yeah, I've got a feeling I got the wrong engine for this. Let's reduce the vertical speed, what it's trying to achieve, down to 10. Do another temperature scan and transmit that. Because it's struggling to get anywhere near 11,000, let alone the 17,000 I need for the mission. The only thing I could do is we could put a couple of the little engines on, the little turbos. That would give me a little bit more thrust without making it too heavy. I don't really want to put another one of these Weasleys on because I experimented with that earlier and it was just too heavy. I am building a jumbo jet then, not a little jet. This just isn't go to get the height. Let's take that off. See, can I get the height? Is it the fact that I can't get the thrust I need out of it? Okay, let's go back to the space plate hangar. This jet engine isn't man enough for the job. Got those. Those are carbonite. That's a kethane one. No, that takes liquid fuel. That's fine. How big are those? Am I going to need extra intakes for that? I know what's going to happen. We're going to end up with a part problem again. How big is it? Oh, it's huge again. But what happens if I put that on here as well? It's got an intake. I could. Let's turn this one over. That gives me two engines. Yeah, one at the front. Just toying with the idea of... Oh, wrong way. There we go. If I put two of those on there... Yeah, that's silly. That is ridiculous. Okay, well, I've got these Juno basic jet engines, and I could put those up there. Why doesn't it want to snap to anything? So these produce 20.6 at Mach 1.3. So not a lot compared to that one, which is 120 at Mach 0. Really? Then we've got that, which produces huge amounts of thrust compared to that. Stationary thrust is 115. No. Engine ISP. I don't know what it tells you in a vacuum, because it's not going to work in a vacuum without putting air in it. Right, first thing I'm going to do or remember is take the oxidizer out of that. And we're going to put a couple of those on with, does it have its own air intake, or does it need an air intake? I think it needs an air intake, but I don't know whether I can use that, because I could just mount these on the wings, so they don't want to snap anywhere. Structural parts. Okay, that's a big structural tube. Little structural tube. Just snap that on there a minute. So it'll snap in there. Could put a couple of girders. These girders looks huge as well. What happens if I put... I mean, these girders are not that heavy. If I put a girder here, will it snap to the... Yeah, it will. It'll snap to that. And then I can raise it out. Just to... or I can put them in there, move them back. But they don't give a lot of thrust. Okay, so that's how they make them work. Just have a look at this. It produces 20 kilonewtons at 1.3. This was only producing 20 kilonewtons. Yeah, but it needed 30 was keeping me in the air. So two of these would give me a little bit more thrust. What it doesn't tell me is how effective it is at height. So it's the speed. It's the speed that's reducing its thrust. What about, right, required air? What do you need for air? Does, well, yeah, 29.6 per second. And that doesn't tell me how much air it provides. Not from there anyway. Right, where's the nacelle? Can't remember where I saw that part. Is it aerodynamics? Here it is. So intake air 5. Effective base speed 40. Intake area. Intake resource. Intake air. Intake air amount 5. That doesn't mean a lot. I put more intakes on. What is this? What does it mean? Intake 5. The engine. Okay, that one needs 1. That needs 29.6 per second. So that means it's not good enough. Do I need some extra intake? Where's the aerodynamics? Circular intake, that's 2. That's 5. Small, 0.5. We know that doesn't work when you put that on top of that. I've got nothing else to attach it to. So I'm assuming that that is providing enough air for that. If that's a 2, and that's what you normally put on, and that's a 5, that should power 2 of those. And maybe a couple of the little ones as well. Let's put the little ones. Where's that girder thing? Right, turn it around. Like that. And in there, but I want 2 of them. And I want to tilt it up for some reason. So move that down and back a bit more, and put little Junos on them. Throttle, main throttle, brilliant. Do I put the intakes on as well? Where's the... I hate for it to run out of air. In fact, where the air is thinner, maybe that's what it needs. Let's put the intakes on those. Don't know if they're going to work halfway through the engine there, but you know. Can I get these to snap anywhere? Can I get these to snap anywhere? Anywhere at all? It needs a fuel tank in the middle, I think. Something like that. Oh, there's a radial air intake. Well, that's huge. That's a 2 as well. But with this having an intake of 5, that should be more than enough. I'm going to put those engines with those. So these are giving 20. This is giving 150. But these will reduce in effectiveness as well. So if this is reducing to 1/3 at height, that's reducing to 1/3 at height. Right, let's give that a go. Let's not go for the mission. Let's launch it. Unable to launch. Over 30 parts. Oh, crikey. Knew we were going to do 32 parts. Right, get rid of the goo canisters. We don't need those. That's my 30 parts. So launch. And if that doesn't work, we'll go for 2 of those big radial engines. I could do that instead of... Depends on their weight. Right, so T set go. Yeah, just make sure they are working. So I'm not going to go for the mission or the contract. We are just going to try and take off. Crikey, that was a bit of a fling. We're going to go for quite a steep trajectory. I want to get up to 10,000 fairly quickly. Put the gear up. Got lots of thrust here, so let's pin that. Let's pin that one. Truss are both the same. It's actually going straight up. speed's just starting to drift off now. We'll level off at about 9,000. Not completely, just enough to me to figure out whether I can actually still climb. So here we go, 10,000. So now that thrust is down to 25. These are down to 6.2. I basically want to put this at vertical hold, vertical speed limit, heading hold. It's not going to get around to 275. Why won't you go around to 275? Set. I don't know why it won't get me there. Let's just chuck this thing around. Realistic. Whoa, you have a roll on this. I don't need more elevator, I know. Come on. Come around. Oh, I haven't engaged the autopilot, that's why. Ah, there we go. Engage autopilot. Thrust 10, 47. Come back up. Can we get to altitude with these two little extra engines? Just giving us an extra 12 thrust. It'll give us a bit more height. I don't know if it'll get us up to 17,000 because again it's this business here. This, once I start getting into this thinner air, I need a different air intake. And this is where this contract's going to be difficult. I'm going to go a little bit of physics time warp just to get me up there. 7,000. Let's increase that up to 20. Still increasing speed. 8,000. Not going to go to 4 times. No, not going to go 4 times. Go on, 4 times. Full physics times warp. This is where things tend to throw a wobbly. Kraken attacks. Kraken. Can't say Kraken without putting a funny accent on. What's that? Okay, crew report. Transmit. I'm meant to put batteries on this as well, but this is only a test flight. Simulator, if you like, as well. But we are at 11,000 and still climbing. But the thrust is dropping. Yeah, that's its ceiling. Is 11,000 now rather than 10,000 because now I'm at 22 plus 2 5s, 32 kilonewtons. I need to produce more thrust. Or is it airflow? Flow is down to 4.4. That one's down to 24. And this one's propellant requirement met. So this is the problem, I think, in that we just don't produce enough thrust. The engines are getting enough air, because if I shut, let's close that intake, and you'll see maybe not. Okay, let's close all the intakes. Yeah, now see, so now if I open that intake, actually one of these intakes is enough, so I don't need these intakes. I can save a couple of parts there, but these engines are just not powerful enough. So let's go back to the spaceplane hangar. And firstly, I want to add some batteries. I want to add a battery. I've saved some space, but we'll chuck a battery in under here. And we figured out we don't. These are too small. Oh, I could go for rocket engines. Oh, that. Rocket engines would get me up to height. But if I went for two of these radial jet engines and put these back here, what if I get rid of that? Get rid of that. Put that. They've got their own intakes, so I don't necessarily need that. And they produce a hell of a lot more thrust. So even when they're underperforming at height, just need to go answer the telephone. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Obviously, when I trim this video later, I shall chop that back out. But that's the day job interfering with the hobby. So I'm going to leave this here, partly because it will provide extra. Or do I? No, I don't. I don't need to. I don't need to. Let's take those off. Let's put those there. Let's take that off and put that there. It's tiny. Let's take that, put that there. Let's take that, put that there. Let's take that off completely. Now we do need a little bit of slipstreaming. So there's the nose cone. Oh, look. Where's my centre of gravity now? Oh, it's back there. That's no good. Aerodynamic overlay. Yeah, no, that's not good at all. Let's get that out. The only thing I could do is I could put another fuel tank up front, make it heavier. Those engines must be really heavy. Fuel tank at there. And I want to move that. I'm going to move these wings up to there. Put that on there. Now, what's the weight of that? 1.03 tons. 1.28 tons. You could put that up forward. 1.03, 1.28, so that's slightly heavier, so that could go forward compared to a fuel tank. 1.125. Okay, let's take that, put that there. Let's take those off and put that there. Put this, put that there. Let's take that off. No. Want to reroute? Let's put that on there. Let's reroute to that. Now I can take. Want to join that to that. Let's just take those off for the minute. Take that off there. Pull that off. Take that wheel off. Put that wheel under here. Take that off. Get rid of that nose cone. We'll just put a tank in here. Drain the oxidizer out. Turn it around. Put it on there. Take that off. Put those under there. Put that in there. So that's 1, 2, 3 fuel tanks I've got now. Oh, but I don't need this engine because I haven't got the intake. Let's put these wings on. There. With that intake for that engine, I really don't need that engine then, do I? Take that off. Hasn't got any other parts attached to it. Let's get rid of that. And we'll put a nose cone or an intake, backwards intake. Small circular intake, small nose cone. Yeah. Be the large nose cone. Turn it around. Plug it on that. How's that? How is that? That's looking better. What's that nose cone doing up there? Okay, let's bring all the experiments up forward a bit. Put the battery under here out of the way. I'm looking right weight-wise. The only problem I might have again is lift. Let me just have a quick look at. Is there a right relative wing area? 10 times the mass, but for some 5 times the mass. Yes. What I'm looking at is this gives me relative wing area. So if I want to put this, for instance, and tuck it in here, turn it around, give this more sort of wing area, more lift. But how much lift? Have I got anything that tells you how much lift you need to support weight? That's what I'm after. Relative wing area, mostly 10 times the mass, but for some it's 5 times the mass. Basic fin is a bit more than 10 times the mass. The unit is somewhere around 4.28 meters squared. It's equivalent of the lift rating from the old aero wing. See pork jet post. I know what the ring area is, but I want to know. Let's have a look at this post here. This talks about thermal massive modifiers, max temps, blah, blah. These are quite old posts, obviously, but wing parts need a lift coefficient. Calculating lift and mass swings and the deflection lift coefficient equals the surface area meters squared times roughly a third. Right. I am just confusing myself with all that. Let's forget about that. I know what I do want to do. I want to go back. I'm going to take these elevons off because they're okay here, but we have got these basic fin. These don't give you any. Well, they do, 0.25. So these give me more of a wing. So we can put those on. Let's put 2 of them on, for argument's sake. And see, I still need to put these on, but I thought we had a littler version, but obviously not. But now, it won't let me attach it to the back. But if I move these up, no, down, move them forward, there we go. And then put my elevons back in here. Don't want to do that. I want to do that. We'll move them out as well, just to make them look a little bit. Right, so how's that? Do I need more lift? Do you want to put some of these in somewhere? Such a small craft. How many parts have we got? We're at 30, so I can't. Right. That is good. Doesn't give me a lot more wing area. That would give me a lot more, so let's get rid of those. Structural type. That's the big one. That's the little one. That's just a swept wing. Tail fin. .6. What's this wing area? 0.25, so get rid of those. Where's this tail fin? Let's put 2 tail fins, which gives me elevon and wing. Even if they do look huge. Do want to lift those as well, which will lift the central lift up. Oh, no idea what's going on there. No, come back out. Now you've got a gap. Snap. Move. Tail wing. Up. It's also moving the central gravity up, which is Okay, ish. Are they actually attached? Barely. Let's move them in as well then. It's better. Don't want to move those wings up because I'd have to move these down. But the centre of lift being here and the centre of gravity being there might cause a problem. Right, take those out. Take that out. The centre of thrust being up here, and that does cause a problem. But without putting those on the side, how about put them on the side? Let's take these off a minute. No, take them off. Put them somewhere else. Put them here. Take that off. Put these. Let's put them there for a minute. Take these. Attach that. I do want these on the, but I want the centre of thrust to be in line. It's better-ish. Can make it longer. Can put another section in. Except I'm running out of parts. I want to save parts. So let's just move them back. And move them in. That's all right. Where are we going to put the tail fin? Could rotate it. Stick them. Trouble is that rotates as well. If I do that, how does that look? Centre of lift is back here now. Oh, how about we just put them on the outside? Right. Doesn't necessarily want to attach to this. Can't get it to. There we go. Come down, attach. Yeah, attach. There. And now we can play with it. Move it back. Look at that, it's automatically jumped to where I wanted it. So now the centre of lift is in line with the centre of gravity nearly. Move it up. That is looking a lot healthier. But I don't know if I've got enough lift or not, but what I can do is take that, get rid of the fat one, turn that one round, and we can put this alongside, or is it going to be too big? Go on, attach. There we go. Want to go the other way, and that way. That way, but that way. That's what I want. And I want it back. Can I move it? How far back will it go? That's a shame. Or unless I move the wings forward. Obviously this changes this. But if I did that, and then moved that forward, so gravity is going to go back as we empty fuel. But that doesn't look too bad. Can I move these back any further? Do they start affecting? That's as far back as it goes. I could pull it down. No. What about if I put the wings back and move this? No, put the wings back here and move that forward to there. Blocking, I don't want to go EVA anyway. Right. Save, launch. No remote control or manned command modules. What? What do you mean no remote control or manned command modules? Let's put Valentina in there for now. Save, launch. Why didn't you automatically put a Kerbal in there? You do when I don't want one. So I'm just checking my settings because I don't know whether there's an easy way of pause the feed. I've got end stream, start stream, end stream, but no pause stream. Oh, what's that? Pause alert queue. Right, so back into here, back into there. Atmospheric port, transmit, temperature scan, transmit. What we got in the way? Oh, batteries. I'd need a solar panel. Back on. Revert flight, spaceplane hangar. I didn't see whether these big engines produce stuff. Resource intake, electric charge. No, they don't produce electric. What do they do here? They don't use electric. But possibly another battery then. Because it's not very... How big's this big round battery? Where am I going to put it? Nowhere useful. So, actually, have that. Have that. We'll go... there we go, 2 batteries. That will make transmitting data easier, but I also do want photovoltaic. There, it's there. It's already there. And we need 2 of those. Might as well just put them there because we do need to charge the batteries. Maybe. I know these produce, and frankly, when these are going, I perhaps don't need these. But that takes me over the top. Oh, God, yes, it does. And one I've now got 1 part too many. Do I need that? Do I need the Kerbal Engineer? Any other parts I can get rid of? Any other extraneous pretty bits I put on we don't really need? No. So let's get rid of the Kerbal Engineer bit. Or I just make do with 1 battery. But yeah, 2 batteries then. If this doesn't work, we've got the option to come back and swap. I do want to change this staging while I'm here. So 2 batteries, change the staging, make sure I've got a Kerbal. Yep, come on Valentina. Save, launch. Now I think it's only 75,000 to upgrade if I wanted more parts anyway, but I can do it with 30. I just need, there we go, right, TZ, go, and, oh, get an intake air, print, go, 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 go. Don't know why I wasn't. Look at the speed. Look at the power. So I don't want to do an EVA report. Close. In fact, I would just keep that open and pin it up there a minute. It's a height test. This. Whoa! Okay, let's go attitude hold, heading hold, engage autopilot. $4,000 meters. We're going to crash. Okay, let's go for a heading hold of 180 because there's no point in trying to come down. Well, come on, recover. Why are you not recovering? The autopilot can't recover. What hope do I? Oh, I bet these aren't recovering. Go on, they are extended. That's good. My tail fin's just too. Why are you rolling? All right, back to launch. I just have this horrible feeling that those tail fins aren't what I want. Let's go back. Let's get rid of those big tail fins. I don't need the wing area necessarily. So revolt flight, space revert. I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to put on the ailerons instead. That. I'm going to put those up there. And I quite like the idea of having them outside of here. And want 2 of them for a start. Oh, I see, you're going in line with that. Well, we can do that, because then we just rotate that, bring that horizontal. And I also want to sweep back like that. Let's see how that goes. Save, launch. Must remember to deploy them. Actually, I don't need to deploy them. But if I do deploy them, they now sit at 8 degrees, like that. But is that the right way? Don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, that should be right, he says. Oh, look, they spin around inside. Didn't know that. Okay. Oh. Come on. Hit Mach 1 off the runway. Almost. So these are super powerful engines. Right, altitude hold. Heading. Let's go for the altitude hold. Engage the autopilot. Whoa! What happened there? Disengage. Why not? You're going too fast. You're going way fast. The control surfaces are not man enough for the speeds that we're doing. Let's go only half throttle. As I'm sucking through fuel. Okay, why can't you go? Oh, hang on. There's something wrong. Revert flight to space place. When I go up, these ones go down, that one's go up. Right, we're going to derate these down to 60% because I don't need to be doing 600 meters per second at sea level. Can always increase it when we get higher. There's something wrong with these elevons. They're going the wrong way, and I can't figure out which ones are going the wrong way. Doesn't really make any difference as long as one. Yeah. Is this because these are now behind the center of gravity? No, they're doing that. Attitude, hold, gauge pilot, and it's both of them are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Oh. Right, okay. Not convinced. It's a lovely takeoff. Disengage autopilot, climb. G-forces. Poor old Valentina will be blacking out. Right, so let's don't need such a big angle. Extended in there at 4. Right, so if I can come around, we can get up to height. Need to pin that. Hopefully both engines will do exactly the same. Let's pin the elevon as well. And Y thrust has gone down to 50. We're losing control. Oh, we've lost control. Okay, take off. For it to launch. These engines seem to behave, even though they're more powerful, seem to behave worse than. Stick to 200 meters per second. Speed hold. Altitude hold. To that. Stop talking to yourself. One last go. You're going to do that with Tilda? Yeah, she is. You go tell her she has to. Yes, it did. I'll have to go and sort this out in a minute. So, T, Z, go. Actually reduce Z down to half. So I think. Oh, no. I think it's at. Take off. Take off. Take off. No, not quite. Sorry. No, I haven't, not quite. Hello, Aditya. I can reply. I can't type and fly at the same time, though. That's the problem. Oh, I can. Here we go. How's that? Doesn't give me a timestamp on the replies, I'm afraid. Come around. Go on, go up. Let's pin that elevon and extend. Pin. Altitude hold, done. Speed, done. Oh, we are. Oh, engage autopilot. That's why I'm accelerating at a huge rate of knots. But as soon as we get up to 10,000, my thrust dies away to nothing. Look, that is worse than the bigger engines. Look at that. Went up to 13,000. But now my thrust is 20. We are doing 500 meters per second, but going to get up to 17 and a bit, but this is not flying, this is just coasting. And the thrust gets down to next to nothing. Weird. And now I'm falling down. That's a shame. Right, I'm going to end the broadcast there. I've been going for an hour and 3/4. I'm going to have a break, do a spot of work, and we'll just test my parachute system while I'm at this. Don't think I can reverse. I can close the intake. I can't reverse the thrust on these, but they are more powerful, but they still have that 11,000 ceiling height. I can't get up to the 17,000, and that career needs that. I'm going to have to try and do something else. I thought jet engines, these are, yeah, I'm going to have to read a bit about radial jet engines, but find out what the ceiling height of them is. But it's a bit cruel for them to give me a 17,000 mission, and then only the technology I've got doesn't let me get up as far. Never mind. Thanks a lot for joining me. We'll see you all in the next one.